Welcome, welcome. Welcome. We want to welcome you to the H.E.A.T Symposium, where we're gathering from all around the state to begin to have a deeper conversation around what does it mean for us to transform public safety, and particularly the public safety system, into one that we can trust. So just a couple logistical rules that we just want to, we're not rules, but maybe just agreements, some information we want to set up here in the beginning. First off, if you need to use the restrooms, if you've missed that and you're already starting to get that itch and that encouragement, the restrooms are going to be out this door to the right, and you're going to walk this track all the way down. You could enter the first door on your right, and the restrooms are there in that area. Also, we want to encourage you, for those that use social media, and I don't know if there's anybody who doesn't use social media anymore. Well, actually, I do know one individual in the room who uses no social media. He just outed himself, but I'm not going to bust him out from the stage. But if you do use social media, if you would help us out just with, there are going to be a variety of conversations that are going to be happening while we're all together. There also will be a lot of conversations that are happening when we're apart from one another, even tomorrow while we're in some of the different workshops. So everyone say, bring the heat. Say it again, bring the heat. One more time, bring the heat. So we're going to ask you to hashtag bring the heat for any social media that you're doing, any of the powerful one-liners, all of y'all that attend conferences for a living, know that you that was an inside joke. The insiders caught that one, right? But, you get all your material by borrowing from everybody else. Somebody say amen, right? So we want to encourage you to hashtag bring the heat, and that'll help us capture a lot of the information that we have today. We have a day and a half, we believe, of some necessary conversation and exploration with one another. And so if we could first just appreciate each other with a round of applause for being here, being in the space on a Thursday afternoon, we appreciate it. Want to welcome you to the city of San Francisco. I can say that because I'm actually a native of San Francisco, even though they make fun of me in Oakland because they call me a refugee because I'm living in Oakland now. But I want to welcome you back to our home city and a place that has always continued to be meaningful for me, and a place where we grew up with a sense of at least there being some kind of idea that different people from different backgrounds could actually live together and find ways to contend for a sense of harmony and for a sense of unity and a sense of inclusivity. And in times like these are aspirations that I hope we are all continuing to aspire towards. Three main reasons that we are gathered here over the next day and a half. The first reason we're gathering, everyone say remember. Say it again, remember. So we're gathering to remember, particularly because I think one of the biggest challenges that we have living in an empire, I believe we're living in an empire, you might not believe that, but I believe we're living in an empire, is the empire seeks to rob us of our shared memory. That we lose our common memory, and all we're left with is our individual experiences, and we lose our common memory, and without common memory, we can't live into some common objectives and aspirations and a pursuit that involves all of us. And so we're here to remember. We'll be doing that in a variety of different ways today and tomorrow. The second reason that we're here, everyone say build. Say it again, build. So we're here to build a shared analysis around the problem. We know that we are looking at the problem from a variety of different angles. One of my favorite authors is a guy named C.S. Lewis. He has a quote that he says, "What you see depends on where you're standing." And so we know that because we are all positioned differently, we all are experiencing the narrative and the dynamic differently. And our hope over the next day and a half is to build a shared analysis. This is not about us trying to pipe our analysis into you. There'll be some things that we're offering up for us to think about, but this is about us building a shared analysis that subsequently will inform us building some shared action and response together. And then the third word, everyone say heal. Say it again, heal. So I think one of the things that's important to me is that all of us that are a part of the revolution in different kinds of ways, that we find ways to heal from a lot of the trauma that we're experiencing. And so I do want to warn you that you will most likely be traumatized today, because I think that's a part of us holding on to our common memory, is having to remember things that we oftentimes might want to forget. But our hope is that by nature of us being together, and I really want to encourage us to look for opportunities to be agents of healing in the life of one another as we're here over the next day and a half. So while we're thinking about information and thinking about, some of us will be thinking about policy, and some of us are thinking about direct action, and some of us are thinking about whatever else we're thinking about. Hopefully we'll also be thinking about one another and figuring out some ways for us to be agents of healing. Speaking of healing, tomorrow we're actually going to be having a concert tomorrow evening, Friday at 10 p.m. The Mario Woods benefit concert that's going to be happening in HP, the Bayview, where Mario was from, and where a lot of us folks that look like me in San Francisco are from. And so we want to encourage folks, if you're still going to be here tomorrow night, we know that there's a lot of folks from the Bay that's also going to be turning out for this, but we want to encourage people to join us 10 p.m. To midnight. We got Soul Development, Equipto, San Francisco, Voice, and then Tef Poe and T-Dub-O from St. Louis. And so we got a great time of some celebration and some healing with art and music and being together and all that good stuff. So stick around and be around. So the one thing I want you to do before we move next is I just want you to, if you don't know the person who's sitting next to you, if y'all haven't introduced yourselves already, just look at them and introduce yourself, and let's give each other our names. And if you know them, just act like you don't know them. That'll make me feel better as a facilitator. All right. All right, welcome back. So as we start off this journey, it felt incredibly, welcome back. One of the things we felt, it would feel incredibly irresponsible for us to lean forward into a conversation about the public safety system without first recognizing that some things have changed. Now, I had an interesting conversation. I won't say who it was with until I know he wants me to say who it was with. But we were talking, and I won't use any names, so I won't mess up nobody's 501c3s and all that stuff. But we were talking, and I said, "There's no way we can sit down with the devil and try to find ways. I don't care how you think about organizing to make peace with the devil." And they said to me, they said, "Well, maybe we already been sitting down with the devil anyway. And maybe now we just got a devil that says he's a devil." So I just want us to be able to recognize and hold in the space that things have changed. We want to create some space for us to interact a little bit, and hopefully that also sets a marker for how we also go about doing our work today. So we're going to have a quick video that we want to show us. I don't know if we need to kill the lights or not, but I think we might be all right. So go ahead and take a look at the screen.
Done anything to create a tone where this kind of violence would be encouraged?
I hope not. I truly hope not.
Get that guy out of here. Get him out of here. In the good old days, this doesn't happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. And when they protested once, you know, they would not do it again so easily. In the good old days, they'd rip him out of that seat so fast. I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. All right, yeah, get him out. Try not to hurt him. If you do, I'll defend you in court. Don't worry about it. I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. All right, get him out of here, please. Get him out. Get him out of here. Knock the crap out of him, would you? Seriously. Okay? Just knock the hell. So much fun. I love it. I love it. We having a good time? USA, USA.
I'm betting that America will reject a politics of resentment and a politics of blame and choose a politics that says we are stronger together. I am betting that tomorrow you will reject fear and you'll choose hope. I'm betting that the wisdom and decency and generosity of the American people will once again win the day. And that is a bet that I have never, ever lost.
I've just received a call from Secretary Clinton. Now it's time for America to bind the wounds of division, have to get together. I say it is time for us to come together as one united people. I pledge to every citizen of our land that I will be president for all Americans, and this is so important to me. I'm reaching out to you for your guidance and your help so that we can work together and unify our great country. Ours was not a campaign, but rather an incredible and great movement. It's a movement comprised of Americans from all races, religions, backgrounds, and beliefs. Working together, we will begin the urgent task of rebuilding our nation and renewing the American dream. Every single American will have the opportunity to realize his or her fullest potential. The forgotten men and women of our country will be forgotten no longer.
White power! White power!
We are going to fix our inner cities. We must reclaim our country's destiny. I'm very surprised to hear that.
You're telling Muslims.
I hate to hear that. I am so saddened to hear that, and I say stop it if it helps. I will say this, and I'll say it right to the camera: stop it. We are going to bring our country back, but certainly don't be afraid.
Want to encourage us to we want to start off with some conversation at the table. And just a couple things we just want to check in for some of us, and this is a part of one of the things that I've been holding, and I know we're all holding different things in different ways in different spaces. But one of the things I've been holding is refusing to move on. A lot of people are saying like, okay, we got to move on. And I'm like, okay, some folks can move on. But I also think that sometimes you also need to remember and sit with a deeper reality of what is, instead of always trying to move on so that you can get on with forgetting. So there's 3 questions I want to just offer up for folks. These aren't questions you have to answer, and there aren't facilitators at the table, so I'm going to ask us not to hold the conversation hostage. All right, y'all know some of us got that conversation hijacking spirit, that goes to the table and you give the 12-minute lecture you've been waiting to give since you got out the car. But if we can kind of go around, and a few things I want to invite us to be checking in around with one another. How are you doing? Another question I would offer up for folks, and in whatever way it is that you want to hold this, is what about your analysis has changed or hasn't changed based upon this post-election reality? And another question I'm really hoping that you all just find a way to make your way to is what are you ready to do now that maybe you weren't ready to do then? So there's 3 ways you come at this conversation. How are you doing? What about your analysis has changed post-election or not changed? How it's remained the same? Or what is it that you are ready to do now that you weren't ready to do then? All right, let's take some time, be with each other. So we'll give us a generous amount of time. Let's have that conversation at our table, and then we'll come back and do a little bit of a report in.